Hey, this is Toby with Cuttle.xyz. For this video, I interviewed Bale and Gwynn, two makers who each sold thousands of dollars in ornaments using Cuttle's family names Christmas tree template. Bale shared her lightweight approach to posting on Facebook groups, taking payment with Venmo, and arranging for porch pickup. Gwynn shared how she ran a giveaway contest to drum up excitement and get customers coming into her shop. Whether you're just getting started with your laser business or growing it, I think you'll find a lot of actionable advice and inspiration in these interviews. So let's get started. First, if you haven't used Cuttle, it's a website that lets you quickly generate personalized SVG cut files by just typing text and choosing options. To make the tree, go to the templates area of the site. In the Christmas category, we'll be using the family names Christmas tree ornament. Over here, you can type the names. It automatically sorts the names by length and does all of the welding and placement for you. You can change the top shape here. And when you like it, click Download SVG. It will automatically name the file for you to help you stay organized. Another option I'll show is to add a backer. Open up the optional backer area and check Include Backer. This will add a backer in another color that you can cut from another material. If you scroll down, there's lots more information about ways you can customize this template. But let's hear from Bale and Gwynn about how they sold these ornaments.
So I initially had a Cricut cutting machine, and I was doing vinyl cutting, and then I learned that the files for vinyl cutting were really similar to laser cutting, and I was like, well, I think I want to try that. And like most people during the pandemic, I was like, I think I'm going to do something new, and that's what I did. I bought a laser, crossed my fingers, and my husband wasn't too thrilled about it because he thought I was going to burn the house down, but I have not. I sell digital files passively as kind of like my main income. And then whenever I feel like, hey, you know what, we've got a couple extra weeks here and we can, have some slow time, that's when I will start promoting physical product, and I will only promote it locally. So I have a pretty large network of moms and, local community members, and that's where I will promote. And I've found pretty good success doing that. And I can kind of stop when I'm too busy, or I can not stop if I feel like going more. So I typically kind of tailor that around like holidays and different things like that.
And when you promote it locally, is that like on Facebook or what kind of platforms?
I am a mom with 2 kids, so there's like hundreds and hundreds of mom groups all over my city, and that's what I do. And moms want stuff for kids, so anything to personalize a kid's backpack or like a lunch bag or anything like that sells very well.
You mentioned in an email to me recently that you made over $2,000 on ornaments.
So I am gonna, first of all, can I just say, Toby, you saved me so much time to design each one of these files on my own. Would have taken me hours and hours and hours, and I didn't even have to try. All I had to do was type in these names. So I started, I don't know if you guys can see this. This is the Christmas tree ornament that you guys had over the holidays. And we had a couple of weeks during Christmas where I was like, look, stuff is kind of slowing down. It's actually a little bit easier for me because I don't sell physical product. So my Decembers are usually kind of calm. And I was like, well, we've got a couple of weeks. Let's just see what happens. So I made a couple of these for friends and as gifts, as little stocking stuffers. Took a few pictures, posted them on my mom's groups, and boom. I mean, we sold, I want to say 167 of them in about 2 weeks. And I will say that it didn't really take very much time. It was just, grabbing the names, making sure they were spelled correctly, typing them out. And I think for each cut, it took about 2 to 3 minutes for each one. So that was just, it was effortless. It was so wonderful. And yeah, it was some nice extra income that I didn't have to work very hard for. So I did take photos, took some nice photos of what I had created. And then I put like a specific time. I said, well, I'm a busy mom with 2 kids. I'm working on creating these extra ornaments this weekend and this weekend. If you'd like to make an order, please let me know. And so I kind of had like a time frame. People had gave me their orders, and I was able to put a stop to when I wanted to because I knew we'd be traveling. And so it was actually kind of a nice extra kind of project to do on the weekend. Cut a couple out, took a couple hours, and we were done. I think that it feels like less work to me when I'm bulking all these orders together and I do them all in one day versus if I get an order on Monday and then I get an order on Tuesday and then Wednesday. You know, it's like taking the time to assemble. It's kind of more of like an assembly line when you just put the bows on them, and you know, it was a lot less work.
How did you decide on the pricing for the item?
Well, considering they took me like 2 minutes to make, I priced them kind of low at $12. For each one. And so I'm sure that people could have gone higher. I used some quality, I think it's cherry, no, it's walnut. I think it's walnut wood. So I knew that I was using a better material. I could have probably gone a little higher, but I felt like $12 was a quick stocking stuffer gift. I knew it was not very much work for me. Had I been designing it and typing out the names and, welding everything together, I probably would have charged more. But, yeah. $12 seemed very, very, very reasonable for how much work I put into it.
So because you're able to save time with the Cuttle template, you're able to work at a lower price point because you could just sort of make them without a lot of manual labor, so to speak.
Absolutely. It was so nice. And especially from a designer's perspective, it was just so simple to be like, click, 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 download. And I was like, okay, easy. So it was really nice for me to be able to do that.
Do you have any other tips for makers who are selling personalized items like this?
I would say use good quality materials because it really does make a difference with how it looks in the end. You get a better quality product. It feels better. It looks better. Make sure you're thinking about your embellishments and ways to kind of scale up your product. If I was just to sell this without any kind of jazzing it up anyway, it doesn't really feel as nice, you know? So for me, adding a bow, adding a ribbon, packaging it up just feels like a better quality product to me than just the ornament itself. So yeah, it was a good experience. And it was kind of the first experience that I had with like so many orders all at once. So I'll take it. It was fun, and I got the kids involved. They were peeling and they were packaging with me, and so it was kind of a nice, fun family experience. But I don't know if we'll do it every month.
But for the holidays, it's a good
absolutely.
assembly line to have.
It was awesome, and I told the kids, I was like, "Listen, you're gonna make this much money. You can buy whatever you want with it," and they were like, "Yay!" So it was great. I was super grateful.
So I've been a business owner since I was a senior in high school, but of course I did not have a laser at that point. But after a while, I started selling a lot of pieces that had laser cut things on them, embellishments, or even just laser cut pieces in general. But I was buying them from other makers to turn around and sell as part of my business. But it was hard to make things on the fly or to customize something last minute or in general. And so I knew I wanted to save money to get a laser. But in order to do that, that money had to come from somewhere. So what I started doing was every time I would purchase a laser cut piece to be used in something, when that piece sold, I would save twice as much as what the laser cut piece cost me in my little laser fund. And once I finally had enough together, I started with a Glowforge Basic in 2020. And it was one of those things where when I told my husband, hey, I want to buy this piece of equipment, he's like, that's $2,000 some odd. What do you need this crafting machine for? I was like, just hear me out. It's going to work. It's going to work. And now a laser is the reason that he's employed full time. So he can't complain anymore. We have a front end that is a retail store that we have finished products and kits that you can pick up. They've got paint, glue, brushes, the whole 9 yards. It's a kit ready to go. And I mean, I've got some of our little sheets from projects here. It's got the whole 9 yards instructions. People can run in and grab those. Or we also have our studio area where people can come in and do a project. We host paint parties with that and that sort of thing as well. So a lot of it is local because we focus a lot on our storefront, but we do ship pretty regularly too. Yes, the tree ornament. I felt like we were an ornament factory for a little while, and that was another time where DIY kits saved my rear because on one laser we would have kits being cut, and the other laser it was the pieces for the tree ornaments, and we would just focus on that laser's only job was to cut tree pieces, and we do assembly. My husband works here full time too, which does help me a lot. So his job was to pack DIY kits, and mine was to do the ornaments. And anytime I talk to other business owners about how to promote a product, I try to remind them that your customer at the end, you can't just put something that says, hey, buy my thing 24/7. It's not fun. We don't want to be sold to 24/7. So anytime, especially if I'm going to do something personalized like the tree, I like to kind of turn it into a game. Essentially what we did on our Facebook page was created a post that said, I'm working on something. And I'm always a little cryptic on it because then it's fun and I get to play around with it. But I'm working on something, but I need names for a sample. And so we created this post that said, I need a family of 3 names, a family of 4 names, 5, 6, 7, however many. I think I went to 10. And I told them, just comment your group below. This could be pets' names. This could be just family members. I know I had one lady who just submitted her grandkids' names for it. And I told them that if we drew their name or, had picked their name to put it together, they would get the item for free. And so it drew in a lot of attention. I think we had over 100 comments on there. People were sharing it. People were tagging family members. Some people commented more than once. This is my family of 3 if you just include me and my kids, but this is my family of 7 if you include our pets. And so, it got people really excited. And then what we did afterwards is, I pulled those ones so that I could make a tree that had 3 names, 4 names, 5 names, so I could show an example. Because there is something different about being able to see, well, what is that going to look like? So we pulled examples from that and we made the ornaments to coordinate with names for each one of those. And then I didn't go back in and tag the people. I didn't go in and comment and say, hey, you won or anything like that. I made another post a few days later and said, hey, here, do you recognize any of these name groupings? And that encouraged people to go and click through each one of the pictures because we took, a nice photo of each one of them, to go through and click through the pictures and look forward. Do I know any of these names? Is any of these names my names? And then we had a link to go purchase the tree if they wanted to purchase one. And for the first week, I think we ran a special deal on it. I think it was $3 or $4 off what our final cost was going to be for them. And it started this whole kind of avalanche of orders coming in. Every time my phone would ding, my husband would look at me and go, is that what I think it is? And I'd look, yeah, it's more trees. And it was fun because even a lot of the people who had won a free ornament, so we ended up giving away 7 ornaments, 3, 4, 5, 7 ornaments, which really doesn't account to a whole lot of material in the grand scheme of things. But we gave away 7 ornaments, but even the people who had won would be like, okay, well, I want to get one for grandma with all the grandkids' names, or I want to get one for my neighbor or a friend. And so most of those people were like, hey, can I just order some and pick them up with my free one? Absolutely. Yes, you can. And so it was really a fun way to engage with my audience. I got a lot of engagement and feedback. I got to give back to them around Christmas time, and it let me make my samples without having to just put together random names and have 10 samples sitting in my bin of stuff that's not going anywhere because they were just made up names. So anytime we're going to do something personalized, I really like to use that opportunity to engage with my audience, give them a chance to get something cool in return and, get to interact with them. So that helped a lot.
That seems like such a great strategy. It seems like it sort of plays into a lot of like what Facebook does, because the first one you get a lot of comments, and then the next one you get a lot of people looking at the pictures, and I guess that Facebook then boosts those posts even more.
Yes, they like that. They want to see interaction. And it was like we posted a couple of times like, hey, have you gone to look to see if you won, when we had a few that hadn't gotten claimed. But it was people were even tagging friends like, hey, is this you? That looks like, your family's names. And so it created kind of a cool, there was, I think, about a 2-week span in there where we had a lot of interaction. And then again, orders continued after that too, which was great. But it did because Facebook was like, okay, people are looking at this, they're interacting with this, they're coming back to this page. Let's keep it in people's feeds if this is what they want to see. So yes, it helped me too. I wanted to go with something that I knew could be simple. And I guess this is just in general, if you're going to offer personalized products, I'm really big. We don't do a lot of custom. Custom takes a lot of time. That's a lot of back and forth. We do a lot of personalized, where this was something that was, it had their names. Not everybody's going to have the same one, which is great, but it wasn't reinventing the wheel every single time, especially being able to use Cuttle to just type in the names and it would, spit it right out for me. What we did though was we only offered one background and one face cover. They were all going to be green background and all going to be white on the front. The green it's a tempered hardboard. We get it from Home Depot, which is conveniently located about a mile from our shop. So it's really nice to drop by there. But it's a tempered hardboard. And what we did was we spray painted an entire sheet at a time green and would put the whole thing in the machine or in the laser. And we would nest all of our background pieces really close together so that we were only using a little bit of material at a time. And our face is a white hardboard from Home Depot. So that one already came white, which was really nice. It's not super glossy, but it does have a decent finish to it. So once it comes out of the laser, I don't like to mask. Masking scares me and it takes more time and I don't want to play with that. So we would just wash the front of it off. We'd use a combination between LA Awesome and baby wipes, depending upon whether it was me or my husband cleaning them. But it took all the little char marks off because it already had a really good sealant on it. I did cheat though. I used 3M tape on the back of it every single time so that all I had to do was peel that little sticker back and put it on there and they were perfect. We had string, we had a little piece of ribbon, and we wrap all of our ornaments we use a 5x7 postcard from Vistaprint that's designed with our business information on it. And so it's ready for gift giving. Our normal ornaments are between $10 and $12. And so because this one was special, we had it at $14. But we did, like I said, the first week when we put them out, I think we ran it at a special for $12. And I know there were several makers that I spoke with who had said they were charging more for it. And I know some of that'll come into what materials you're using. Some people were using some really nice acrylics with them. And it was cool because they could be, essentially the same project, but have a different look because they were offering acrylic or they were offering the extra symbols added on, like the paw prints and the angels. And we kept it very simple. They got a star at the top, a year at the bottom, and then the names. We kept them really simple so that we could do them really fast.
Can you talk at all about how the Cuttle workflow worked for you in this?
Wonderful. I had seen, they started to have this popularity to them. And even before I'd heard of Cuttle, I think maybe I'd heard of it, but I hadn't gone on to kind of check out what all of it was at the time. I was seeing those. I was like, I'm not doing those. Those are going to take way too long. If I have to sit there and type all the names and resize them every time and adjust it, I don't have the time for that. Not especially during busy Christmas season. But then somebody had mentioned that they were using the Cuttle program for it. I was like, okay, I got to go give this thing a look. And right after designing the first one, I'm sure I scared my husband because I was sitting on the couch at home and I was like, whoa, that was super easy. Okay, so I'm going to do a thing. And he's like, you're going to do what? And usually when I say that, it means we're going to make a lot of something. Like when I volunteered to make 300 ornaments for a local event for kids here, he was like, what are you doing? I was like, no. This one's going to be cool. Hang on. Let me try this. And so being able to, especially when we did have the names come in through our website, it was as easy as going over, copy and pasting from the website, dropping it into the little text box on Cuttle, and then boom, my names were there.
Do you have any other tips for makers who are selling personalized ornaments?
I will say that packaging made a big difference for us. We used to do ornaments pretty simple. We hung them up on a tree. If somebody wanted to buy one, we just stuck it in a bag and you went about your way. But adding a postcard that had our information on it, a cello bag around it, and then having, it was something easy to present. Plus it keeps them clean and really organized for us too. Made them, is a ready to go gift. And so if you're selling something that's intended to be giftable, having some kind of packaging on it, it doesn't have to be a full gift box with fluff and ribbons and stuff like that, but having that kind of giftable look to it really helped a lot. And that's with any kind of ornament or any kind of product, in my opinion.
Thank you, Bale and Gwynn, for sharing your experience, and thank you for watching. I hope you sell a lot of ornaments this year.